You know that deep down you already feel it. It's not about how it all began, nor about the words said up until now. It's about what is happening here, at this very moment. You feel as if time stops every time you look at him or her, as if the world around you disappears. You know, don't you? It's not something you can disguise or ignore. It's that certainty deep in your chest that you try to hide even from yourself. It's time to be honest. There is no perfect moment, no right place, no ideal phrase. What exists is now. And in this now, someone is waiting to hear what you perhaps never had the courage to say, that you cannot imagine life without this person. That each of their smiles is a reminder of why you believe in love, even though it has hurt you before. That you want to share more than the good days, that you are willing to face anything, as long as this person is by your side. Your feelings are clear, even if you haven't put them into words. You have already shown them in your look, in your touch, in every little thing you did without realizing it. And the other person, they feel it, they notice it, but they are waiting for you to take the step that changes everything. Because you know that what you have is not just anything. This is rare, it is deep, it is real. So what are you waiting for? Because if it's to live something big, true, eternal, maybe you just need to say what is already in your heart. You know that time doesn't wait. Each day that passes without saying what you feel is a missed chance, a moment that won't return. Maybe you think you're not ready yet, or that you need more signs, more certainty, something else to give you courage. But deep down, do you really need it? Because if you stop and look inside, you know that what you feel is already bigger than any doubt. The question is not whether this person will say yes. The question is, how would your life be if you didn't ask? How would it be to move forward knowing that you let the opportunity pass to create something extraordinary? To build a life with someone who sees you for who you truly are. This is not about perfection, it's about desire. Wanting so much that no imperfection matters. Wanting in a way that even fears and insecurities become small in the face of the desire to be with this person. You need to understand that love doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It happens in chaos, in uncertainties, in mistakes. It happens in the truth of who you are and the desire to share that truth with someone who chooses you every day. Even on the difficult days, even when you doubt yourself, that's what makes everything so real, and that's why you can't let this pass. The person who is by your side has already given you signs. They may not be obvious, perhaps. They may not be easy to decipher, but they are there. They were there in the times when they listened to you without judgment. They were there in the small things they did to see you smile, even without fanfare. They were there in the looks that lasted a second longer, as if time had slowed down just to capture that moment. And if you pay attention, they are still there. Because someone who truly cares doesn't hide. They just wait. And now, the decision is yours. You can continue waiting for the right moment, the perfect scenario, the exact words, or you can do what you know you need to. Open your heart and say what's been hidden inside for so long, because this person deserves to know. They deserve to know that you chose them, that they changed your life, that with them everything makes sense, and you deserve to live this as well. Because carrying a love this big and not expressing it is the worst way to live. It's depriving yourself of the most beautiful thing in life, a true connection with another soul. If you still have doubts, you might need to ask yourself, what is really stopping you? Is it fear of exposure? Is it the apprehension of being rejected? Or is it the deep-seated belief that you're not enough? Because if that's it, you need to understand something now. No one is perfect, but love is not seeking perfection. It is seeking truth. And you have that. You have more than you need to be happy with the person you love. What is missing is not something you need to find. It is something you need to release. If this person were to say now, at this very moment, that they want to share their life with you, would you hesitate, or would you say yes without thinking twice? Because if the answer is yes, then why not ask yourself that question? Why not be the one who takes the first step? Love is about giving, not about waiting for the other to take the initiative. It is about showing that you are willing, that you believe, that you want more. Maybe you are thinking about what could go wrong, but have you ever stopped to think about what could go right? Have you considered the future that could begin right now, at this very moment, if you just had the courage to take that leap? Because that is what a proposal is, a leap of faith. It is believing that together you can build something greater than yourselves, And yes, that is scary, but it is also liberating. Can you already imagine it? Not the perfect scene from a movie, but real life. Waking up next to this person every day, knowing that despite all the challenges, you chose to be together. Knowing that, even when the world seems difficult, you will have someone who holds your hand, who looks at you with love and says, "We are in this together." That's what we are talking about, not a fleeting moment, but a choice that echoes forever. So, what are you going to do? Are you going to wait for the fear to disappear? Or will you face it, knowing that what's at stake is worth so much more than any insecurity? This person deserves to know what you feel, and more than that, you deserve to live what's in your heart. Don't hide. Don't put it off. Because later is uncertain, but now is here, ready to be lived. This is your chance to transform everything. A conversation, a question, a sincere gesture. That's all you need to start something that can change your life forever. Because in the end, love is not about guarantees. It's about choices. And the best choice you can make is not to let love pass by. If you have come this far, it's because you know there's no turning back. What you feel is not something you can ignore or put off. This person occupies a space in your heart that no one else can fill. You tried to be rational, tried to find excuses, tried to convince yourself that it was not the right time yet. But the truth is, you already know what you need to do. There's no more room for doubts because love is clear even when we try to hide it. This person has already transformed your life, even if you haven't fully realized it yet. Think about how things were before she entered your world. Think about the emptiness you didn't even know existed, but now would be impossible to ignore. She brought color, brought meaning, brought that feeling that finally, something in your life is in the right place. You look at her and feel a peace you never knew you needed, a strength that makes you want to be better every day. But love, no matter how intense it is, needs to be nurtured. It doesn't survive on its own. It needs courage, action, and commitment. And now it's your turn to show what you feel. Do not wait any longer. Do not let the fear of making a mistake paralyze you. Because making mistakes is part of the journey, but staying silent is losing the chance to live something you might never find again. This person is waiting for you, even if they don't say it directly. They feel it. They know it. But they also need a sign from you to believe. You might think you don't yet have everything you need to offer, that you still need to become someone better, more stable, more prepared. But that is an illusion. Love does not wait for perfection. It blooms in the imperfect, the vulnerable, the human. What matters is not what you have or what you still want to achieve. What matters is the decision to walk together, to face whatever comes, to build a life alongside someone who is as imperfect as you are. Now imagine the moment when you finally say everything you feel. Imagine the relief of lifting that burden off your chest, of finally giving voice to what is inside, suffocating, waiting to be released. Imagine the sparkle in her eyes when she hears the words she might have been dreaming of hearing. It's not about an immediate yes, it's not about a fairy tale, it's about creating a connection that goes beyond what is said. It's about showing without fear that you choose this person. Not because she is perfect, but because to you she is enough. Life is made of choices. And this is one of the most important you will make, because it's not just about loving someone, it's about choosing to love every day, to choose to stay even when things get tough, to choose to build a story that, yes, will have its challenges, but that will be yours, unique, real, a story that only the two of you can write. And this choice begins now with a decision. It doesn't need to be perfect, it doesn't need to be big or planned, it needs to be honest. Look at it. Say what you feel, don't complicate things. Love is simple. I want you forever. That's it. And that is everything. It is what changes the course of two lives that, until now, were already deeply connected, but that can now begin to intertwine in a way that can never be undone. You know that this person is your home, that with them even silence is comfortable, that they understand you in a way no one else can, and if you feel that, why wait? Life doesn't give guarantees, but love doesn't need them either. It needs courage, vulnerability, surrender. It needs you. Ask the question, take the step. Not because it's the perfect moment, but because it's the right moment. Their heart is waiting. Yours already knows the answer. So go, speak, live. Because love, when it's true, is always the best choice. You know that this moment is already here. It's not something that will wait for you forever. Love, when it's true, demands urgency. Not in the sense of haste, but in the sense of presence, of being fully in the decision to open your heart, to make yourself vulnerable in front of the person who makes everything in you gain color, strength, and meaning. Because you know that if it's not now, this opportunity might never come back the same way. Of course, you can think of 1,000 reasons to wait. Maybe you think the right words haven't come yet. Maybe you feel you need more time, more security, more guarantees. But is that really true? Or are these doubts just a way to protect yourself, to delay the inevitable, to try to maintain control over something that deep down cannot be controlled? Love doesn't follow scripts, it happens. It takes over you in a way that no logic can explain. And it's precisely for this reason that it is so transformative. Think about everything you've already experienced with this person, the conversations that lasted hours without you noticing the time pass, the moments when just being close to her made you feel that even on the toughest days, life still had something beautiful to offer. The way she looks at you, as if she sees something in you that you didn't even know you had. This is not common. It's not something you find just anywhere. And that's why you can't let this chance slip by. Now, I want you to imagine what your life would be like without this person. Imagine the days without her presence, without her easy laughter, without the comfort of knowing she's just a call, a hug, away. That feeling of emptiness you probably felt just imagining this is proof that she's already an essential part of who you are. No matter how much you try to rationalize, hide, or avoid it, you know this connection is real. And connections like this don't come around twice. So what's holding you back? Maybe you think it's fear. Fear of not being enough, of not meeting expectations, of making mistakes. But you know what? She doesn't expect you to be perfect. She expects you to be sincere, to show with words and actions that you are willing to try to learn to grow alongside her. Love doesn't require you to have all the answers. It only asks that you be present, committed, open. And if you're still wondering how to do this, the answer is simpler than it seems. Be yourself. Speak from the heart. Say exactly what you feel, even if the words come out a bit jumbled, even if you get nervous. What matters is not the perfection of the speech, but the authenticity of the feeling. When you truly open up, the other person feels it. She knows, and that is what makes the difference. Maybe you are imagining what the moment will be like when you finally say what you feel. Maybe you are thinking about where it will be, what you will say, how she will react. And all of this is normal, but don't get lost in these details. Because in the end, what will matter is the intention behind your words, not the setting around you. It could be in a casual conversation, at a place you both frequent often, or even in an unexpected moment. What truly matters is that you are honest, that you allow yourself to be vulnerable. Now think about how she might feel when she hears what you have to say. Imagine the surprise, the emotion, maybe even the relief of finally hearing what she had already suspected but wasn't sure of. This is the kind of moment that becomes unforgettable, that turns into a turning point in the lives of two people, not because it's perfect, but because it's true. And that's what you want to offer her, isn't it? Something real, something that lasts, something meaningful. And afterward? What happens after you finally say everything that's in your heart? That's where the magic truly begins. Because a declared love is a love that can grow, that can deepen, that can transform into something even more beautiful. That's when you start building together, a life that makes sense even on the toughest days. A life where mistakes are corrected, where challenges are faced, where joys are shared. But none of this can happen if you keep waiting. If you keep letting fear call the shots, you need to make this decision. And it's not just for her, it's for you. Because keeping such a big love inside without letting it express itself is one of the greatest forms of suffering. It's depriving yourself of experiencing something that can change everything. And you deserve that. You deserve to live love to its fullest. Now stop for a moment and take a deep breath. Close your eyes and imagine the future. Imagine the two of you together, living everything you always dreamed of, creating memories, overcoming obstacles, celebrating achievements. Imagine what it will be like to look back a few years from now and realize that everything began with the courage to say what was in your heart. This is the kind of thing that transforms a life. This is the kind of choice that defines who you are. And if you are still in doubt, here's one last thought. Love doesn't need to be perfect to be true, it just needs to be lived. Don't let fear or doubt stop you from experiencing something so great, so rare, so real. You already know what you need to do. Now just do it. If this message touched you, if you felt that it spoke directly to what you are experiencing, don't let it pass. I want to hear from you. I want to know what's in your heart. Leave your comment below and share your story, your vision of love. Don't be afraid to open up, because love only grows when we share it. And if you believe more people need to hear this message like this video, your like is important so that this message reaches those who need it. Maybe someone who is in exactly the same situation as you, needing a little push to take the next step. Subscribe to the channel to receive more messages like this. Together, we can continue reflecting on what really matters in life, about love, about courage, about the choices that transform who we are. And remember, love is the most beautiful choice you can make. It is the bravest decision. Now it's your turn. Make your choice, declare what you feel, live what your heart already knows is real,